Hey, so look what I found down at the ferry terminal in Richmond near my house. Hayden.
I tell you what, it's a long ferry. It's a long ferry from Australia down to that ferry terminal.
Is, huh?
Yeah.
That must have took you like, what, 2 or 3 weeks
Long,
to get across on the ferry?
Long time to swim. Sorry about the voice, by the way. It's not normally like this, but no, I did take a plane ride, which was a big step in itself. But
That's a long trip. Huh?
Yeah.
How many hours?
Oh, it was about 15 hours.
15 hours.
15 hours in total travelling in the plane, but it was probably about 18 total.
Yeah, I've never been in a plane for that many hours. Well, okay, I take that back. I did fly to Turkey one time when I was a kid, but I don't remember any of that. I was like 1 or 2 years old, so
yeah.
My dad was in the Navy, so
yeah.
But I don't remember any of that.
And our first point of call was San Francisco, and I thought, well, seeing as I'm so close, I need to come and see you.
Yeah, it's probably 5 miles by the crow fly.
Yep.
About an hour to get here, though.
And we've been talking about your Chucky Hex, and you showed me through the shack and the tower and everything else.
Yep, you're good.
Mic's on.
It's on.
Mic's on.
Mics are on.
Hello. Yep. So
for both of us.
Yeah. So hopefully the audio is working on mine as well. But yeah, so it's really good to be here for the first time, and basically not a lot of people know that I'm here. You do, obviously.
Yeah, there's what, like 4 of us, I think?
Like 4 people, yeah.
4 people that know Hayden's here.
So...
And it's on a need-to-know basis, and since he wanted to come see me and he was close, I was on the need-to-know list.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
On the VIP list. So I'm going to, obviously going to Dayton, which is, what, next weekend?
Yeah, next weekend.
Yeah,
So,
well, that come around quick.
Well, it starts a week from today.
Yep.
Next Friday.
Yep. Well...
Thursday and Friday, I guess.
Well, that's what we were going to do too in this little informal discussion, because we were like, we're going to do a video, but what are we going to talk about? So we can talk about next week, which by the time you're watching this will probably already be done. But Hamvention kind of starts on Thursday, really, doesn't it? Because you've got...
Yeah, I think we actually will be able to get into some stuff on Thursday, if I remember right. I've never done it as a YouTuber. Dayton before. I've been to Dayton twice.
Are you doing it this year as a YouTuber? You're going to do some video?
I'll probably this is my first and probably one of my only. I've got an idea of what something I want to do on there. It's totally different than everybody else has really done for something like that. It's really not about as much about Dayton as it is about a certain band.
Oh, okay.
Leave it at that. Actually, by now you guys might know. I've got a buddy who actually was my Elmer. He's in a 6-meter group, a club, and those guys, you talk about taking it serious, you can get really serious in 6-meter. But what's cool is the guys, like the president of their group, one guy was saying, oh, you need this Helix, you need this, and he's like, dude, he's not into it like we are.
Well, yeah, well, I probably count myself as one of those 6-meter nuts, because I love 6 meters.
We had more of it here.
Yeah. Yeah, so, okay. Well, I was going to say, don't reveal anything that you don't want to reveal, but it
this
sounds...
is all going to be after anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's
mine will probably be Thursday of Hamvention or something like that. I got a couple of videos to release. I've done a couple of videos of leading up to travelling and everything.
Oh, cool.
But we biked across the Golden Gate Bridge the other day, and I tried to contact you from the park there.
Yeah, Hayden thought that we were like, oh, it's across the water.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Chuck's just across there. This will be easy off the Kenwood handheld.
There's like 5 or 6 hills between us.
Yeah,
mountains. Some of them are mountains actually.
Yeah, so I learnt that pretty quickly, and but we managed to make contact via the repeater.
We did, yeah, we did repeater. But you actually heard me.
Yeah, I
was in my truck and I drove to the top of the hill. I had 50 watts in my truck and not a handy talkie antenna, so. But I could hear Hayden break the squelch, and that was all I could get.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw that in here.
Yeah.
If I still have it. I think I did.
Yeah, well, I probably would have uploaded the video by this stage, but yeah, we managed to talk via the repeater, but I did hear you, but obviously that's the big difference between 5 watts and the little HT antenna.
I should have recorded the repeater stuff. You're still a little
I recorded
scratchy,
the repeater stuff. Yeah.
But you were a little scratchy, but definitely totally readable.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could tell you were on an HT.
Yeah.
That's a long ways, because that was Mount Diablo, which is 20-something miles from me.
Yeah, okay.
By air.
And I was...
And you were farther.
Yeah, I was down at... can't even remember where it was. The Maritime Museum. Down on the water there. And
so you were low too.
And the other reason that I also come to visit was also too is that I needed to pick up a signal stick to replace this.
That's right.
Which I got sent to you because I knew that it'd be easier than.
The guys were talking about on Coffee and Ham radios the other night about it, and I showed it. It had my name. I said put my name on it. So nobody knew it was actually Hayden. It's not mine. I have one similar, but.
And the reason I want it is because the Kenwood handheld. So this is the one with APRS. We won't talk about APRS because we know what.
Oh yeah.
We know what Mike thinks of APRS, but this radio's not like the Baofangs, which are the funny SMAs. It's the female SMA, and I didn't have one. So I wanted something a little bit better than this because we're going on the Amtrak train from California to Chicago, from Emeryville to Chicago.
Do you have repeater book?
The app.
Okay, good. You might be able to use that.
Yeah.
Maybe hit repeaters.
Yeah,
Or something else.
that's how I looked up the. There was a couple of other repeaters in. Is it Mount Sutro? Mount Sutro, is that how you say it? In San Francisco and other repeaters. So yeah, I'm going to try repeaters from the train. And also APRS from the train and see how it is.
Oh, the APRS would be cool.
Yeah, because they've got small, it's, big-ish windows, but they're still fairly small windows. So hopefully we get the RF out of the window and we get some APRS going. So that'll be good.
Okay, so one of the things we're doing, I haven't even told Hayden this, but and I'm not really putting it out there until after, but we were actually invited to the banquet for Yesu this year.
Were you?
The car group, the Coffee and Ham radios, our whole group, and I think a couple other guys were invited. But that's kind of a big deal. I mean, there's no way I'm going to pass that up for sure.
They're going to have that FTM 500 at Dayton, aren't they? So
I'm sure they will because they're for sale here now.
Yeah.
I noticed last night I could buy one if I wanted to.
I also saw that on a similar note, new releases, the ICOM IC905 is now for sale, I think.
It wasn't for sale before?
No, it was pre-sale.
Oh.
So
well, I'm pretty sure Josh has one.
Josh has one, but I'm not sure if his is a first model. But
that one doesn't. That was not for me.
No, not for you. No, for me, I'm
kind of thing. That's your kind of
I'm
thing.
the microwave person. I'm 6. I was going to say 6 meters and above. I'm 10 meters and above. That's what interests me the most.
Yeah.
But
10, it's so nice that 10's back a little bit now too.
How good's 10 been? 10's been really good.
In fact, I've got a 10 meter Yagi over there. I was gonna, if we had more time, we were gonna go out and do some. It's like Yagi. Hayden's got he had a big plan and so many days to do it, and the weather's been really nice. It's like in the 70s.
It has been. So we've got a couple of more things to do because we leave tomorrow. So basically heading to Chicago and that'll be good. But what are you looking forward to the most at Dayton? Obviously the Yesu banquet dinner. That's going to be good.
That's going to be cool.
Yep.
I mean that's like a once in a lifetime probably thing for me, but for most people I guess. I don't know who gets to go to that, tell you the truth. Well, I've met, when I first got into this, my buddy, who's in the 6 meter group, him and a bunch of guys that he introduced me to, I got to actually meet those guys in Dayton. Because they're all in that Indianapolis, Ohio. One of the guys was from New York. We used to get on 80 meters. I used to get up at 1:30 in the morning and do 80 meters.
That's dedication.
And I've done it camping. And my buddy's talking to me. He has this really nice, it's a wire antenna, but it's like a Yagi, like a 2-element. And his buddies were always like, "You aren't talking to nobody. You're ghost talking." He goes, "No, I'm talking to Chuck." I had like 400 watts, and I could hear him. He could hear me, but nobody else could hear me.
Because I can't say as I've been that dedicated to 80 meters. I don't think I've been on 80 meters in a long time.
That's when people talk about 80 meters. The stuff I know from 80 is not what everybody talks about.
For 80,
a good group of guys.
Yeah. Although not at 1:30 in the morning, like.
Well. Sometimes when I was a firefighter, I was always waking up around. We were up all night, off and on. So getting up and doing something is not that hard for me.
True.
It's still, unfortunately, still that way.
Are you going to go for a stroll through the flea market?
Oh yeah, that is one of the big. Their flea market is huge.
It's like the size of a race course, isn't it?
It's actually a race.
Or it is the race
course. It's a horse race course. I think.
Horse race course.
I think it's what.
I thought it was a dog race course.
Well, it might be. I don't know. I thought it was horse, but it's huge.
Yeah.
And that's not all of it. There's that, and then there's a couple other sections that are smaller.
Yeah, right.
It's really cool. I mean, I went to my first time. I was there for 3 days and I didn't cover everything.
Yeah. Well, I've got no.
You get kind of tired after a while. You know?
I've got no hope then, because like.
Are you only gonna do 1 day?
Hey. No. I'm going for. Well, I'm not sure about Sunday because I think Sunday we're going to the Air Force Museum.
Oh, that's. I didn't go there. My wife and her brothers went to that.
Yeah.
And they were there.
Yeah.
My wife actually went with me. She was probably going to go 1 day this year.
Saturday and Sunday's the main day. I think so one of the YouTubers that do know that I'm coming is Kyle, AA0Z, and
Please copy.
Yeah, please copy.
Please copy.
And I think we're going to go early to the flea market because we've got early access.
Press pass.
Press pass.
Yeah.
And
signed up for this just this time.
Oh, okay. And
I've never done it before.
So yeah, we're going to go into the flea market early and see if we can get bargains, and then it's straight into the vendor shed.
That might be a good
strategy.
Way to do it. Yeah. It's. I mean, being that I'm flying in and you're taking a train in, and you can't really come prepared. And this is one of the ones I would actually be even more interested in the flea market if I was. I mean, technically, my buddy would ship anything home for me that I wanted.
Yeah.
But
I've got
that shipping thing, you know.
I've got a 23 kilogram, what's that, 50-pound suitcase, spare. So I've got two. So the plane ticket actually I've technically got two, but
you
yeah.
Can get clothes here, you know.
Yeah,
you can buy those
yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I like, you know. If there's something that's interesting that I know that I can't get at home that's going to cost a lot to ship, then I'll obviously get it. But I think.
Do you guys have any kind of a import thing when you get there, or anything like that?
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Oh, I know Canada does.
Well, we do.
You have to declare everything.
We do have to declare everything. It's so.
Let's go away from that.
Well, we were talking earlier about the Chucky hex. We were talking about the Buddy hex, which is another hex beam that you can buy. And when I got that Buddy hex imported, I had to pay. It was something like $350 US import charges.
Wow.
On those, because we have to pay tax as well, which is 10% of the final value.
Right.
And then obviously the import charges on top of that, so it can get quite expensive.
So that'd be cool if you can get stuff there and not have to do that.
Yeah. I think there is a limit. So obviously, if the stuff that you've received as a gift, you don't need to declare that because you've received it as a gift.
Oh, nice.
That sort of thing. But hopefully, no one from the Australian Border Force is watching on this to know that.
Well, we're putting this out after you get back in here.
Yeah, no, that's right. So please don't check my bag as it's coming through. Well, actually, we're going via New Zealand, so maybe we might get away with it. They might be they might be okay.
I really wanted to take you on I've got a really good place for it's actually a soda and a poda, and it's drive up. And every time I go there, it's just, my buddy Javi's like, I can't believe the pileup you have. I go, yeah, it's the way it is here every time.
Is that where you work? Was it Ross ZL question mark?
No, I didn't work him. I don't think I worked him, but I've worked a guy in France a couple times. But that guy's like, anytime you're doing soda, he's out there. He's got a big station. But I've done with my Moxon out there, which works really good.
But see, France is not that far away. It's like just across the country. Like compared to where
across my country and the ocean in another country.
Compared to where I'm from,
You're
it's
a different
not,
direction.
Yeah, that's true. Compared to where I'm from, it's
You're
not
just
that far.
across the ocean. We've
just
talked,
across the ocean.
We've talked on Buddy Hex and Chucky Hex.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I think distance was 10,500 kilometers, so about 8,800 miles or something.
I'm glad you text Jason on that, because otherwise we wouldn't have known you were on. I think you'd said something earlier, but we were like around the campfire, and the whiskey might have been in the glasses. I hope I didn't slur too much when I was talking to you over there.
Oh, Quartz Fest, yeah. Yeah, no, it sounded perfect at my end, the contact, but
yeah, we had some major noise, unfortunately.
Yeah, and for those that haven't watched that video, it's the Buddy Hex video. It's pretty good.
I forget what radio. I might have been on my.
You're on your 705 with the amp, or on a 705 with an amp.
Oh, that's right. I was running a 100-watt amp.
Yep. And I was running the 7300.
The Yates amp I got, yeah.
Yeah, I was running the 7300.
Because I had my ELAD there. I was like, I could have run that off it too, but it was like, the ELAD didn't like it. It was like, it just kept bouncing because all the stuff in the area. One of the guys told us it was static electricity from all the fiberglass motorhomes out there.
Oh.
So I don't know. He was in the Navy and he said it was a thing. So.
Yep. And
well, this should be really fun.
So yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be like, I'm sure I'm going to get overwhelmed because you've been before, right?
Right.
So
twice.
So first time for me, and it's going to be like, you know,
your head's going to explode.
Well, I'm going to want to go into the vendors area first. So that's why we're making sure we've got a plan and we go to the flea market first.
Right.
Because the vendors are going to be there all day, so it doesn't really matter. And we'll get some interviews as well, provided my voice is a lot better by then, which we've got a week, so hopefully it is.
Oh yeah, still a week.
And so yeah, that's going to be good. I know I'm going to be at the ARRL booth for a little bit as well, so I'll be there hanging out with them. And
buddy Steve.
One thing I definitely did was I printed out the list of vendors. If you go to the Hamvention website, which doesn't really matter now because you're going to be watching this later on anyway.
Right.
So all this advice, use it for next year.
Yeah, use it for next year. Perfect.
I printed out a list and I highlighted all of the vendors that I want to make sure that I get around.
I should do that.
So I had a list. I'm like, I want to see that. I want to see that. And then that way, as I go around, I can check them off.
Keep
and
talking.
I can say,
I'm going to check something. We're actually cooking right now, guys.
Yeah, Chuck's actually going to go and print out his list right now so that he can make sure that he goes and checks out their booth properly. But yeah, so I'm going to printed that out, check out to make sure that I see all of the vendors that I want to. Some of the forums, they've got forums on as well. So there's a couple of those which are going to be interesting. I think the ones that I'm going to go to this year are Josh from Ham Radio Crash Course is hosting one with Ham Nation and the YouTubers. Kyle AA0Z, he's also hosting one. I think that's on contesting. And there's another forum which is on, I'm trying to think what that one is. Oh, Good Games Youth and Outreach one. So yeah, Good Games Youth and Outreach one I'll also be going to. But after all that, Chuck's now back. He's turned the chicken.
I didn't realize it, but you guys were probably hearing my
your mic,
my microphone over there.
So what you were hearing was chicken barbecuing over in the grill, and you've probably noticed the smoke as well that's been drifting this way.
Yeah, it's not foggy here today. It's probably just a little smoke. No wildfires in California today.
No.
Just Chuck Smoker.
So no, it's been good. So I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, it's going to be one big trip.
Do you fly out from Dayton?
Not from Dayton, from Chicago.
Chicago, well, yeah.
So what happened was the quickest and cheapest and easiest way was to fly from my hometown of Hobart, Tasmania, straight directly to New Zealand, to Auckland.
Okay.
Because Auckland fly to a lot more destinations in the US because it's just that little bit closer.
Right. Fuel from there.
Yeah, and Chicago was one of the places that is close to Dayton, but they don't fly from Australia direct. Okay. So we fly Air New Zealand from Chicago back to Auckland and then back to Tasmania. So it's only 2 flights, which is good.
I'm doing that just to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
I go to Indianapolis, and I think we're coming home from Chicago.
Yeah, so it's 3.5 hours from Hobart to Auckland, and then from Auckland to San Francisco, it was 12 hours. Going back the other way, of course, it's a different story. Right. It's like...
Well, you're going to lose a day, too.
We won't even know what Saturday the 27th of May was like. But we fly from Chicago back. That's 16 hours. And then it's like 4 hours back from Auckland to Tasmania.
Oh, is it
so
that
that's
far?
20. Yeah, because you're going from west to east. Okay. East to west. Okay. East to west. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because I don't like flying, but I made it here. So we'll see how we go. I've got to do it to get back. I'm not swimming.
Well, it's a long swim.
I'm not taking that ferry back. Yeah. That ferry was too long.
So you did at least 2 ferry rides.
Yeah, at least 2 ferry rides.
Here? What since you've been here?
We've had
one back there, 2 or 3, right?
So we've had So we've had 3 ferry rides. So while we've been here, that's the other thing.
So you've done 2 more ferry rides in this area than I have.
We combined it with a little bit of sightseeing. So we did the ferry ride from, how do you say it, Sausalito, back to the Fisherman's Wharf.
So that's just kind of going down the coast there, really.
Yep. And then we did the ferry to Alcatraz, because we checked out Alcatraz Island.
Right. That's right.
And then we've done this one, which was to Richmond here, which was, they're all about half an hour, really, really quickly.
So you like Alcatraz?
Alcatraz was good. It was interesting.
Not a place you want to stay, but it's a nice place to visit.
No, yeah, a lot of history, a lot of interesting stuff there. Probably the highlight though has been you can bike ride across the Golden Gate Bridge. That was the highlight. I think it's just seeing, because you're used to it because it's just here in your backyard, but seeing it on pretty much like all these
was it gold? It's not even gold.
No, blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
It's
and then you're.
Oh, it's always the bridge that gets destroyed first.
Oh yeah. Well, you look if you're going the way you were going. If you look to the right, you're looking into the bay.
Yeah.
If you look to the left, you're looking into the ocean.
Well,
that is the entrance to the ocean right there.
Well, I was saying the other day that movies, you don't quite get the depiction of where it really is, because there's a movie which is San Andreas, which is later on in the movie is in San Francisco, and basically Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he parachutes into Oracle Park, AT&T Park,
Right.
then jumps on a little boat, and then realises there's a tidal wave coming and he needs to make it out to the Pacific as quick as possible. And it's like within 2 minutes of the movie, he's out at the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like,
there's no
that
way.
would take him about an hour to get out there.
Those big racing cigarette boats can't make it that
Yeah,
fast.
no, but he's
huge.
He's cruising up the wave that's, like 200 feet high that goes over the top of the bridge or something ridiculous like that. So, but anyway, it was quite funny.
The Golden Gate's the most famous bridge in our area, but the Bay Bridge is like 3 times as long.
Yes.
Way bigger. It actually has an island in the middle.
Yep.
Called Mare Island. It's actually an old U.S. Navy base.
See, again, Bay Bridge, I know that from a Disney movie back in the 90s, George of the Jungle. He actually swings from the Bay Bridge.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting. The other thing that I didn't realise until I got here too is that one show that I enjoyed watching was Mythbusters, and that was based in San Francisco. But you can't go, like, they don't have anywhere that you can go to, like, visit their workshop or anything. It's not publicly open.
They probably don't want people knowing where it's at, to tell you the truth.
No, well, it's easy to find. You just Google where it is and you can see it on Google Maps, but it's just not open to the public, which it's a bit of a shame because pretty cool show that.
You caught a Giants game at Oracle Park, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a really beautiful park.
They didn't do too well, but
did they lose? I
think it was like 11.
I don't follow baseball tours later in the season.
I think it was 11-1.
Oh wow.
But
they won the day before.
But are you a Giants fan or are you?
I'm a Giants fan. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not because the other one's
the A's.
Yeah. Oakland Athletics,
right?
right?
Was A's fans.
Yeah.
And they were Raider fans, and my family was Giants and Niners.
I didn't realise that night.
In Warriors.
Straight after the baseball game, it was LA Galaxy, Lakers and the Warriors playing.
Yeah.
And someone told me about it, and I'm like, oh, and I looked it up. And it was like, oh, playoffs. There's no way that I was going to pay for playoff tickets.
You might want to go buy there, but you didn't want to buy tickets.
There's no way I was going to pay for playoff tickets. No. I'm not a big fan of basketball either, so.
No, those tickets they're expensive. Baseball is the most reasonable thing in sports.
It was like $5 to get in.
Yeah.
It was $5 to get in and probably about $200 to get out because the amount of money that you spent at the food
I was looking to go
and
over and
merch.
Meet up with you, and we didn't get connected fast enough. I was afraid I wasn't going to get a seat near you, but it was $10 the ticket I was looking at, but it was $50 to park.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, $10 for a ticket.
And it's
Parking's terrible in San Francisco. It's the worst thing.
I enjoyed the baseball. It was good.
It's really nice.
The baseball, it's interesting because a lot of Americans don't understand cricket, but baseball is very similar to cricket, but more stop-start.
We have cricket here. Some of the one of the high schools near us had cricket in it.
Yeah,
Ours
right.
didn't have it, but But they were like 3 times the size of us.
Because that's different, because one team comes out to field for like half the day and then they swap over and then the other team come out half the day to field. Okay. Whereas in baseball, it's like you're out for probably 5 minutes and then once you get 3 outs, then you swap. And it's, there's a break of about 2 or 3 minutes.
And I'm a National League fan because I think every guy that's in the game should have to bat. In American League, they have designated hitters.
Rather than the pitcher.
So the guys that are retiring, they're like big home run hitters. They retired to the American League.
Right. I didn't know that. Yeah, okay.
Because then they can just go up and bat.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think there were no debate whether it's real baseball because that's not how baseball started.
Well, I can tell you what. Now the Giants, I don't think, hit a single home run the other day.
Was there any splash one?
No, they were all out there on kayaks.
They built that stadium because Barry Bonds was still playing for him. He's lefty. And that stadium was pretty much built for him.
Yep.
Lunch is ready.
Okay. Well, guys, we may have to cut this short because we've been told
the lunch is coming.
Lunch is ready.
Actually, just quickly about that.
Okay.
I learnt baseball from a 1998 Nintendo 64 game, and the game was Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh yeah.
But one of the players I used to play with was Barry Bonds.
Yep.
And when I went to the baseball game the other night, I watched some of the highlights of him, and he could hit a ball a long way into that river.
People talked about the steroid thing of it, which whether he did or not, I don't know. He didn't look as steroided up as
some people.
The A's players that were around at that same time. But you still have to hit the ball.
And welcome to Baseball Talk with Chuck and Hayden.
Yeah, you still have to hit the ball.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, his dad played with the Giants.
Yeah.
Bobby Bonds.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I went to Candlestick, was the original place, and they were adding on to it. And Willie McCovey was a big lefty, and that guy could hit the ball, man. And he hit up where the workers were at, right past the workers one day, and it was my first game as a baseball. That's why I'm a Giants fan, because my first game was a Giants game.
Well, see, that's what mine is now.
Yeah,
I guess. They had the splash count.
Yeah,
it was at 99.
99 for this year.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know if it goes from.
It was just at 99.
Because Barry had a bunch.
Yeah, it was just sitting at 99, so we were hoping to see 100 because they probably would have set off fireworks or something.
I'm sure they would have.
Anyway,
the splash cam it's built to where you hit the ball into the bay. If you're most left-handers, right-handers can hit it there too, but
it'd have to be a pretty.
If you grab it, it goes into the water, and there's people with kayaks everywhere.
Yeah, they're all there.
Big crashing kayaks into each other trying to get the ball.
There was probably about 6 or 7 kayaks sitting there, and they were waiting. But anyway, they were disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys join us in Dayton. Whatever we do happen to put out on this is afterwards. But
hello.
It was great meeting Hayden, and something that probably wouldn't have got done unless he'd come to Dayton.
No, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. It's going to be fantastic. Let's go have some lunch.
All right.
See you guys.